People, have you ever felt or been through that click of a pause at some point of your life that only because you've listened to one story or you've heard one word from someone and then it clicks and then made you think, why do I do what I'm doing now? Or think to yourself, why do I need to find passion in my business? Or where do I see myself in 6 months, a year, or 5 years even? Okay, this is not an interview question, but to think between you and yourself. What's your passion in business? How do you feel or how do you motivate yourself to run the business? And one last question. Is it too late to change? Why should I trust my passion? So this is Monday Talks. My name is Daniel Toka, and our guest here, her name is Munira, but she is the ambassador of change. This video, this video here is to offer you this story and may get you the feeling of a click of a pause to add another positive change in your life. So join me again to welcome Munira Ishak. How are you?
I'm very good, Daniel. Thank you for that interesting introduction. So we were talking about the ambassador of change. I have not used this title for a long, long time. Perhaps I can share. Yeah. I mean, it's not that long. It just feels long. Yeah. See, because when I started my business, I was having a moment where I wanted to acknowledge the jump that I made. So it's interesting what you were saying about change or pursuing your passion. So I was granted, let's say, this title, Ambassador of Change, through an online show that I did with my brother, which was mostly focused, the audience was the entrepreneurial startups and talents in Malaysia. And I was inspiring a lot of people through my story during the run that we had for this show. Hopefully, we'll be able to revive the show.
Lovely, lovely. This is getting me more excited even. I was so excited before we start even. But hey, let us just start with this way. Who's Munira in 3 words?
Oh, that's hard. 3 words. Resilient, bold, and there is this word that I want to use, but it says a lot. Mother.
True. That's a big one.
Yes, a lot of people are mothers, of course, but everything that I do surrounds that title.
But let me add to that, you have multiple hats. Travel counselor, PMP, electrical engineer, many hats, right? So that defines a really unique character of Munira, right? It's like, how do you drive, what's your drive to go through the path of change between these hats? Once you're a mother, once you're a PMP, now I'm an engineer, or I'm a travel counselor, or I'm a motivator. It's like I cannot count how many hats
that I'm wearing. That's an interesting way of looking at it, to be honest, because for a while I was trying to fix the brand, but actually I don't have to fix the brand to be just one. I should just be Munira Ishak, which is what I am or who I am. And the fact that I'm able to start my business in the travel industry, which is under the wing of travel counselors, and embrace my project management and or engineering background. There was one particular trait that brings me together alongside with being a mother, which was the fact that I love the way that I encourage or inspire people around me. So there was this couple of weeks ago, I did a 30-second introduction and I was complimented on that 30-second introduction. And that 30-second introduction starts with human touch is often removed. And what I do is I add human touch in everything that I do. When I talk to people, people relate to me so well that they would like to work with me or talk to me. When I sit with people, we can sit for hours and hours just to talk. And sometimes I find that we even talk on more stuff that we are relating to, even going on to personal stuff. So this is how we relate. This is where the human touch is. And similarly with my children, I relate to my children, not just as a mother, I'm also their friend. Of course, it's a fine balance, but this is how I relate to people. So that's what glues everything together.
This brings me like to a question. Like, was it a plan, or is it like your character that is like, you have to grab all these things to become what you are now? It's like, wow, were you planning from the beginning that I should be an engineer? Then I should develop into PMP. And after that, I will find another passion.
That's kind of interesting question. Nobody has ever asked me that.
Love to hear
but
that.
The fact of the matter is, growing up, I've had these very volatile, well, it's not, I wouldn't, yeah. Let's say when you grow up in one place in your hometown until you finish school and then you go off to college and everything. I didn't have that. I moved ever since I was 11 years old. I moved countries even, and I kept on moving every 4 years. And I didn't have one place that I was in for a very long time. So that meant I became very versatile and flexible with whatever that was happening around me. And I just had to adapt very fast.
So
that's what happened.
Life offered you change.
Yes.
It puts you in every challenge, different country, different people, different career. It puts you everywhere. So you, out of this adaptation, came up with a new, let's say, new character, or was it there from the beginning?
It was developed. I was a very recluse teenager. Somehow. I don't know how that works out. I was a very recluse teenager. I remember one of my aunties said to me, Munira, why do you always look like, why do you not have a smile on your face? I had to rephrase that because the words that she used was not that nice. But why do you not know how to smile? You know, my hair used to be like here. You know how these teenagers are. I was one of those teenagers with my hair on my front and everything. And once I got to college, I realized that I was having a lot of fun involving myself in all of these activities. I was in all these engineering exhibitions, and I found my talent was in presenting, talking. I was always the main presenter to all the exhibitions, and we even won a gold medal. I joined a traditional dance team where we performed on stage. I did martial arts and did performances then. And even when I went to work, I was the president of a language club in that, the first profession. As I moved along and I was deep into my technical, they said I had a flair for technical. In the end, I thought, I don't want to be buried under these drawings. I like to talk to people. And that's what I did. I moved on.
Well, I can't cope up with you. Like, you're jumping, excited, everywhere, excitement from here to here. It's like, it's hard to cope up with you. All right, so you left the change. Actually, let us say you're following the passion, or the passion is driving you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so every time you make this change, what was that moment that you consider yourself, that was my big jump? Or is it like too many?
There was a lot. But one thing that I found that was different between what I was doing and what my peers were doing is the fact that I have this moment, just before you make a big jump off a cliff. Well, people don't jump off a cliff, but if you jump off the pool or you're scared of something beyond. I do the calculative jump because I would have done a lot of background research or whatever it is, or backup plans. But at that moment of time, a lot of people can't do that jump. So what I do then, I take a deep breath and I go.
Dive. I love
and I
that.
go.
I love it.
At that time, my mind is just blank. And then the key thing is you will read this in a lot of books and motivation talks and things like this. The key to that is how you get back up in case you fall.
To find
that's the
yeah.
To always stand back up.
Yeah.
People are scared of it, but that's what it is. You just have to keep standing up, even if you keep falling down. After you've jumped, there is no going back. But just know once you're there, if you keep falling down, just know how to get up. So this would have been in my plan.
Wow. So it's called calculated risk.
Calculated risk. But not to calculate and never do it, but then that just becomes textbook. And
the jump is there.
Yeah.
You're on the shelf. You have to jump, right?
You have to jump.
So much agree. Okay. The time is limited, but let me conclude it with this question. From being a mom and entrepreneur, qualified manager, engineer, and even dreamer, and taking the jump every time, is there a limit to stop dreaming? Or am I too old now to make this twist of change? Or when should I say no to change? Or should I not?
You don't really have a choice to say no to change when it comes. However, when you do decide to change on your own, you should say no when you do not have a backup plan.
So you're saying I have to be having plan B in my pocket before I jump? A second parachute.
B, C, and D. Because otherwise you're just jumping without a parachute, and then we know what's the result of that. Right?
True.
So, not to overthink, but there should always be a plan B and C. That's other than this, if it's your passion and you already thought what happens if it doesn't work, there is plan B. What happens if plan B doesn't work, there is plan C. You should always do it. It's scary. It's terrifying. You're not going to sleep at night, but it's worth it.
It's worth it. Wow. I just love that. It's like exciting me when I'm here just chatting with you. Imagine, I hope the audience is feeling the same.
Let's hope so too. It's never too late.
It's never too late. That's a big one. Okay, I'm so scared that I'm running out of time, but it's like I can never feel that it's the end. It's really lovely talking to you. So
and you too, Daniel.
Yeah. So allow me to wrap it up and say, hey people, such a wonderful person, such a wonderful character was here on this window. And I hope you've enjoyed it just as much as I did. That was my Monday Talks, Daniel Tokar, today with Munira Ishak. It was nice meeting you here, Munira.
Yes, nice to meet you too. Keep on tuning in to the Monday Talks from Daniel. So that we want to see more inspiring people.
Stay safe, everybody.